Hi, I'm Robert Osborne, and joining me once again is this month's guest programmer, man responsible for such films as the terrifying The Exorcist, the controversial Cruising, and the film that won him the Academy Award for his direction, The French Connection. Welcome back, William Friedkin.
Thanks again, Robert.
Good to have you here.
Pleasure.
Now, so far tonight, we've been on a roll with Billy Friedkin, bringing us some of his favorite films. And next, we have another one. This next pick for tonight is Blow Up, from director Michelangelo Antonioni. Such a good movie, but why, out of all the films you could have picked, is this one of your four?
This is a mystery story, a great mystery story without a solution. But the journey, the search for an answer, which doesn't end with the film, but goes on long after the film is over, is fascinating. This is a film made by a great director, Antonioni, who had a vision of his own. His earliest films were very controversial and popular only really in Europe, with a limited audience in the United States. But Blow Up was his first English language film. It was made in England, and a part of what he was trying to capture was the swinging 60s of London, which I think is captured in Blow Up more than in any film that I could name. The plot is so elusive, so original, so unique, that it will make you wonder about what is real and what is fantasy, which I think is the essence of what happened in the 1960s to an entire generation around the world. Young people, because of the drug culture, which is portrayed in this film to a small extent, young people had separated themselves from reality, and that's what Blow Up deals with in such a beautifully photographed and mysterious way. Antonioni, by the way, I'd like to point this out to your viewers. He never repeated a shot. Like, when most of you see a film or a television show today, you guys can pretty much tell what the next shot is going to be. If there's a shot of me, the next shot will probably be a shot of Robert. In a film, it might be over my shoulder, over your shoulder, and the directors cut back and forth using the same setups. Antonioni never repeated a shot. His films move almost laterally, like a novel, like reading a novel from left to right. And that's in all of his films. Occasionally, there might be a fragment of a prior setup used, but they can be counted on the fingers of one hand. So he had a unique way of storytelling. I try to do that now myself. I'm not totally successful in being able to do that. But Antonioni could envision a film like a series of individual photographs. And his films move along at a very unusual pace because they never go back from point B to point A.
I hadn't realized that. That's so interesting about that.
Yeah, it's something to keep in mind while you become immersed in this incredibly simple and complex film.
Well, let's have a look here. Terrific film which caught everybody's attention when it was released in 1966. Here with David Hemmings, Sarah Miles, and Vanessa Redgrave. Blow Up. But, this is one of those films you want a little more. Powerful film, too. And I'm here with the man who selected it as this month's guest programmer, writer and director William Friedkin. That is such a good movie. Such a powerful ending, my God.
I love it. By the end, this photographer whose life and his work is being able to see is completely lost in a world of what is real and what is not. One of the great shots that I can remember in my years of watching films is when Hemmings picks up the invisible tennis ball and throws it back to the tennis court where the hippies are playing tennis without a ball or rackets. And he's bought totally into the fantasy.
Yes, indeed. What of your films are you the proudest of?
It's hard to say, Robert. Probably Sorcerer, which is the film that came closest to my vision, what was in my mind's eye before I set out to make it. It was not a success originally, but it's
Certainly
recently had new life.
A revival, yes.
It's back out in theaters all over the world, and it's on Blu-ray and DVD.
We showed it at our film festival, and it was a big success there.
It was a great screening at the Chinese Theater. The TCM Film Festival, if you've never come to it, for film buffs, it's a must. Of all the film festivals in the world, you're liable to see some of the world's greatest films, not my own, but the work of others, and meet some of the...
And your own.
You're too kind, but to be factual, some of the great movie stars, too.
Well, it's such a pleasure to have you here.
Thanks,
you have
Robert.
such a great filmography. Your films have entertained us, excited us, and everything through the years. And it's so nice to meet you, to have you here and talking about your films. Hope you come back often.
I would love to, Robert, and I would just like to say in closing, all of these films that you've run this evening influenced me tremendously, but you could see nothing of them in my work. They were just powerful influences to try to make the kind of films that I believed in. I could never approximate their genius, but they were extremely inspirational.
Well, I may have to question you on some of that, but because I think your work is quite exceptional.
Well, I appreciate it. It's different.
Yeah,
it's
indeed.
different from everything you've run tonight.
But interesting that they have inspired you so much in your own work, and that you're so passionate about film. You know, it obviously shows in your work as well.
Thanks, Robert.
Yes. Good to have you here.
My pleasure.
Thank you. Well, we're going to say goodbye to William Friedkin right now, but be sure to stick around as we have another film coming right up. And as always on TCM, of course, it's going to be uncut and commercial-free. The only way to see a movie.
Tonight on Turner Classic Movies, Jean Moreau searches for meaning in her marriage in La Notte. Then cinematographer William H. Daniels lights Greta Garbo in The Kiss. And Norma Shearer is a witty jewel thief in The Last of Mrs. Cheney.